Okay. And so how do we take this next step? You're like, he said to eat one meal a day, 2 meals a day. What? So now we got to put some really good stuff together. And, you can have your cake and eat it too, sort of. So the first meal I'm going to do, and I'm talking about a meal, okay? Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, right? That's what we always had for lunch. And we can kind of simulate that with peanut butter and a really good raw unfiltered honey. Most of your honeys are phenomenal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, antifungal, antiviral. You know, they're good. You can see when you get a good honey and you open it up, you'll have this top layer. You can almost see the bee pollen in there, and you'll see propolis residue. This is like a resin that the bees collect. It's really neat. They go out and they collect it. It's like a tar. Queen bee will say, hey, we need this tree and this tree, bring it back, and then the guards wait for them. As soon as they arrive, they scrape it off with their mandibles, and then they send them back. They plaster this stuff on the hive because if you understand the beehive, it's probably the most sterile place on earth. In my opinion, a lot of the reason a lot of beekeepers have lost their bees was we started to go against nature. They would either bring their hives to crops that were surrounded with monocrops, and your drones are out and they're trying to get their stuff, and they're just essentially flying over neurotoxins. They never make it back. And then you have the ones that they give them sugar water. And so when you talk about good immunity, you talk about, okay, how do we build an immune system? And so it would be common sense to consume something with an immune system, yeah? Now, you can keep it going. Well, that thing that you consumed, what did it eat? And what did those things eat, until we kind of get down to the microbial level, right down to your soil. One real true reason why everybody's sick is, you're buying conventional produce, and unfortunately it only takes 3 minerals to grow a good crop. The only problem is it's going to be weak. You have nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. These are the only 3 minerals really needed, and add in a pesticide, suicide, larvicide, fungicide, insecticide. And, oh yeah, Bob comes in, sprays your crops, and they're good. And you'll see peppers that, what is this, on steroids? You go to Walmart, you see these huge avocados. They're like basketballs. And so again, we look to the outside. We see this muscular physique, or we see this gigantic fruit, and we automatically assume, wow, that's got to be a really good nutrient-dense food, but it's quite the opposite. And, it's real simple. So you have 70, 80, sometimes in certain soils you can get 90 to 100 different trace minerals in that soil. And when you grow a food in that soil, now you've ultimately created your medicine. And that's really all it is. We just wanted a shortcut for everything, until really it just came in a box with microwave instructions, and that's really what it boiled down to. We just got really lazy, and we trusted we were the retailer. We trusted our wholesaler. He trusted his guy and his guy, and they can say whatever they want, but if you feel like fucking dog's ass, you were bamboozled, and that's the bottom line. So make this real easy. And maybe I even have so many foods and honeys and stuff in my basket, but I want to make this easy. We're going to replace 1 meal a day. We're going to call it peanut butter and honey. Okay? You can do, I don't know, if you want to do a monster tablespoon of peanut butter, that's fine. If that's, going to help you, it's not really going to hurt us in our longevity journey, because that peanut butter was quality. And that's a big thing right now. 99% of you, oh yeah, I have peanut butter and it's protein. No. First of all, peanut butter is not a protein food, and we have to stop going to peanuts because of protein. They have a few amino acids, but they're not even a complete protein. Yes, we could add rice or another complementing food to make up that chain, but really there's no need because we're eating the nut or the legume. We're consuming it for minerals and we're consuming it for the fats. And this is really important. So peanuts are good. Brazil nuts, walnuts, almonds, pistachios. The problem is 99% of the time when you roast these things, you denature, you break apart the double helix, the DNA. Just like in a PCR. When we PCR, let's say we're looking at a gene sequence, or what do we add in a base, we heat it up, and then the chromosomes split apart, and then we cool it, and they'll find their way back. And it's not really like that with food, though. We're not adding a restriction enzyme, or we're not adding a TAC enzyme to complete the reaction over and over again. We're breaking apart a living food, the double helix. So, there's a lot of science behind it, but all you really need to know is now you've created what we call a trans fat. So we've roasted the nut, but we're lucky, we're human. If this is still a good peanut and it was roasted and it wasn't, mass produced, where you have these honest peanut farmers, they may not call themselves organic, but they're growing good peanuts. And you have a good product. And guess what that is? You go and you get a jar of peanut butter and you look on the ingredients. And what do you have? What should it have? Peanuts, right? And salt, because two is like coffee and cigarettes, but peanuts and salt. Okay? Now, I want you on your next homework assignment to go to ShopRite, Stop and Shop, Publix, Albertsons, wherever you are in the country, and go in the peanut butter aisle. And I want you to take 8 or 9 different ones, and they should have 8 or 9 varieties, and then you'll get into the almond butters and walnut butters and buttery butters and whatever. Look at the ingredient list on all the peanuts. Okay? You have these vegetable seed oils, these lecithins, soy, all of these ingredients. Why are they in peanut butter? Now, you have to look and say, oh my God, was I even eating peanut butter? You have all these diagnostic dilemmas, and maybe it is your peanut butter, because we're supposed to be able to eat good peanut butter. All right? So, it's lunchtime, and generally 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., even if you're getting up early, just drink tons of water, have your coffee, whatever. Don't eat. Make this your first meal. And you're going to be starving, and you're going to lick that spoon shiny. So you take that peanut butter, okay, nice big scoop, manly scoop, skinny winny scoop. Put it in your mouth, okay, and then go to your honey. Now, another huge problem. Honey is probably one of the most nutrient-dense, powerful foods in the world, and yet you'll look at a label on a jar of honey, and it's as though it has not a good source of this zinc, not a good source of D, and all this other nonsense, because it's not classified as a product that we put in a box. It's from Mother Nature, so they can't really classify an immune system of a bee. So we have Manuka honey, which is one of my favorites, and it's very, very expensive. Okay. That's a telltale sign when you go to the supermarket and you're looking at all your stuff. Okay, we're looking at honeys. Oh, we have the little panda bear, and sometimes you can see them for $1.49 a jar, but a lot of times it's not even honey. And here is a very good fake that I just wanted to show you. This is going on, and this is sick. If I had the time, I would lobby and sue these guys, but I don't. But the Germans, you see these a lot, right? This company, Golden Blossom. Now the Chinese knew that this was a go-to honey. The label was nice. They had nice, different blossoms available, and they were just basically, they were just coming off the shelves left and right. Chinese caught that. They came in, and it's actually a really good honey. And they use rice syrup, and they counterfeit everything to the T, the label, but you know the difference when you're a connoisseur. somebody and you're just drinking, this, like a Pinot Grigio or a Cab Sauv that you just know and you feel all the hints of flavor. They weren't there. And I noticed this. A couple friends, we got together and scientists do what we do. Well, anyway, we had done what's called a mass spectrometry, so you can actually see. Because when you can counterfeit, the Chinese are so good at counterfeiting the honey. I mean, the taste and the flavors were almost identical. But what was happening with me, because I work with a lot of patients, and when we get the pancreas right, okay, insulin secretion, everything's nice, everything's flowing, there's no traffic jams, we can take in decent amounts of honey and not really have an insulin response. So this would categorize this food as a low glycemic carb. And you're thinking, honey, sugar, what's going on? But the way it was designed, it was very easily broken down. Most of the issues that we have with the sugar is even the fructose from the fruits is it's tough to break down, and then it has to go through the liver, and like glucose, where it's there, it's stored, it's readily available. Fructose is another story. But there were things like honey, and there were certain agaves that actually gave us a very low glycemic response. And it all came down to, wow, these were real. They were raw. Organic is just, I think, an overused word now, but you have to look for things like when you're buying your oils, like cold pressed, okay? Where all these manufacturing processes. Whoa, what's expeller pressed? That's like the next step, where you have maybe white bread and wheat bread and you just mill it once to become wheat, whereas you have your whole wheat and you go through 2 to sometimes 3 milling steps in the endosperm and the germ and all the really good things. Basically, all you gotta know is it's processed. Our DNA does not like processed things. And when we have very good genes, our DNA will put up with it for a while. And for some, it won't even, you show signs until, 30, 40 years, you'll see signs in your telomeres. These are your markers, these biological clocks that we have in our cells. So as we age, our telomeres shorten. But as we age, we can actually get them to lengthen. You can reverse pretty much anything. The problem was we never did it right. We never did the right study. We didn't have the complete, I don't know what to say. With me, it's body whispers. So we take our peanut butter, our honey. Now Manuka, like you'll see, $1.99 Panda. Manukas go up to $149, but you're only eating about 2 teaspoons a day. So in reality, if you were to sit here with 2 teaspoons and you break that up, you spend more money, you don't get a Happy Meal. So it's usually insanely priced. Now let's move into the maple syrups. Right? Maple syrup, you're like, oh, sugar. You look on the nutritional chart on maple syrup and you will be fucking blown away. There's more zinc in one serving of real maple syrup, and they have these maple butters. And they're no joke. They're $20, $30. But that's the shit we want to buy. And when we're eating once or twice a day, guess what? It all works out. You actually save money in the end, I think, in your grocery bill. Forget about your doctor bills and all that time lost in your lives. That's gone. It's gone. So meal 1, this is your first change, peanut butter and honey. Okay, you put the peanut butter in, and then if you have a liquid honey, you can squirt it in or spoon it in. Okay, let that just kind of melt in your mouth, let those flavors melt for a bit. And when all's said and done, you'll feel like you just had a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Now, after this meal, this is where I want you to do. Go 4 hours, 5 hours, and do not eat anything but just drink. No Red Bulls, no Dunkin' Donuts runs, none of that nonsense. Water, or your tea, or Crystal Light, or whatever your decent liquid beverage is. And pay attention to how you feel. That's really what it comes down to.